The member for Carlton, Mississippi Mills.
Mr. Speaker, the Ontario provincial government is broke. Not just broke, but in debt to the tune of $267 billion. That's $20,000 for every man, woman, and child in the province of Ontario. Alarmingly, almost 10% of Ontario's tax revenue goes toward debt interest payments. That percentage will inevitably increase when interest rates rise, and rise they will. Mortgaging Ontarians' future is irresponsible, and not to mention immoral. That is why we cannot pass Bill 174. We simply cannot afford it. The provincial government does not have the financial capacity to increase spending. Ontarians are tapped out. Both the Liberal and NDP parties fail to understand that governments are no different than households. They cannot spend more than they take in. Deficit spending as a long-term strategy is a policy of failure. The provincial government needs to learn to live within its means, not fund NDP schemes in an effort to avoid an election. This is not a one-time expenditure item. The proposed increase in the pension benefits guarantee fund cap would blow a hole in the provincial government budget year after year after year. I understand that the NDP is concerned about employees who lose their pensions, who may not have sufficient funds for their retirements. But there is a way to help employees and their employers. Government should reduce the cost of living for all citizens and provide a competitive business environment for companies to thrive. The first step should be to scrap the Green Energy Act and clean up the numerous bloated agencies that have bungled the energy file, particularly Ontario Power Generation, Hydro One, and the Ontario Power Authority. 12,300 public sector employees in the energy sector are on the Sunshine List. Hundreds of millions of dollars have been spent growing these agencies to produce less power. This is not sustainable. We should scrap the $5.7 billion pre-election spending plan of this wasteful government. We should put an end to corporate welfare.
I hope the member is going to tie this into the piece of legislation that is in front of us.
If the provincial government had followed the recommendations of the Drummond report, we would be on track to eliminating our deficit and controlling our debt. Our massive debt is killing the government's ability to provide the services our people deserve and need. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Further debate? The member for Trinity Spadina.